For real, guys, we actually stole Superstaro'S mastering chain, and I went ahead and converted it to Ableton plugin so that all you guys can go ahead and copy it as well. Just don't tell anybody about it because I don't want to be getting in any trouble. Nah, but we ended up taking Superstaro'S mastering class, and I learned this mastering technique that made a huge difference on every single one of my beats, and that's what we're going to be covering today. Alright guys, so these are the actual plugins that Superstaro uses in his mastering chain, but we're going to go ahead and convert that to Ableton for you guys right now. Alright, so the first thing that we're going to do here is we're going to go ahead and boost the lows and any highs that we might need in the mix. So we're going to go ahead and use the channel EQ for this. Feel free to use EQ8 or EQ3 as well, but I like to use the channel EQ. So let's go ahead and listen to this. I'm going to go ahead and put this on loop, and we're going to listen to this and just raise them ever so slightly. So you can hear a crazy difference just from doing that. I noticed that this works really well, especially when your mixes are like cluttered, because obviously there's a lot of stuff hitting really loud. So we want that bass to just stick up above everything else, and then we want some of the high end in there as well. So the second thing that he likes to do is boost the transients in his mix as well. So Ableton doesn't have a transient designer or booster in general, but we can use the drum bus to get some similar results. So let's do that. Alright guys, so the first thing I'm going to do is set this frequency right here to be an A, and as you can see down here, it shows you what note it's targeting. So we're going to go for an A here because this melody is an A minor, so that's what we're going to be targeting at this point. You might notice that I turned down the drive and everything else is pretty much at 0. I turned the dampening all the way up because we don't want to really target any frequencies in there. We want to target the whole mix, and we're going to go ahead and play with the transient ever so slightly. So if you notice, we turn it up a lot, just like this, you're going to notice things are going to start to sound a little more clicky and like they're attacking way harder. So let's check it out. But we absolutely don't want to go that crazy with it, so we're just going to dial it and just give it a little bit more of that. Okay, so as you can see, we only added just a tiny amount of it because I don't want to go ahead and destroy the master, make it sound super crazy. We just want to add a little bit more of that attack onto it. So what also we're going to do is go ahead and play with the dry and wet. We're going to turn it down because I don't want it affecting it as much as it is right now. So let's do that. So as you can tell, the transient, the attack on everything is just punching through a little bit nicer, and that's exactly what we were going for. All right, so the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and boost the highs in a certain section just to go ahead and give it more of a sparkle and bring the life back into it. All right, so for this, we're actually going to download a free plugin called Fresh Air by Slate Digital. Highly recommend this one. I really love the algorithm on this for adding some high and mid-high harmonics, just getting some more air and breath into it. So go ahead and download that, and we're going to use this one. All right, guys, so here's the plugin, and we're going to be using this high air knob right here just to go ahead and add a little bit into the high section. Now, we're not trying to completely change the sound of this track. We're just trying to add a little more on the high end so that everything can kind of sparkle and stick out a little bit more. Boom, and it's that easy, guys. Like you see, I'm only using 12% here, just a tiny little bit, because like I said, we're not trying to boost this up and completely ruin the track. We just want to add a little bit of sparkle on that high end. All right, guys, so the next thing that we're going to be adding is the EQ8, and we're going to be using this just to target the kick and the snare. Those are two things that we like to get to pop out of our mix. So the kick, you may be like, why are we doing the kick and not the 808? Well, the kick you usually want to shine above the 808 and to pop out of the mix. The 808's just holding down the low end. So we want the kick to pop, and we also want that snare to come out as well. So let's do that. All right, guys, so I actually don't have a kick in this beat, But what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and sweep around and try to find the kick. It's usually going to be around 50 to 150 on the frequency hertz. And then you're going to go ahead and find where that kick is popping, and that's where you're going to boost. So really quick, let's take a look at another project so I can show you guys exactly how to do that. All right, guys, so here's another project with the kick in it. We're just opening this one just to show you how you can find the kick. So watch me sweep across here for the kick popping frequencies. So as you can see, when we turn that on and off, you can notice that it targets the kick and it allows that punch, that initial punch, to squeeze through the mix just a little bit more. All right, and next we're going to do the snare or clap depending on what you're using in your beat. Now the snares and claps are going to be in different frequency ranges, so it's going to depend, but you're going to do the same exact thing like we just did with the kick. You're going to sweep around the frequencies and find where that clap is sticking out or a snare, and that's where you're going to raise, but remember, just boost it a little bit. So let's go ahead and do that right now. All right, so let's take a quick listen to before and after our new master chain. Absolutely huge difference. You can tell that the highs are standing out more, the kick and the snare are punching through, and everything just sounds more well put together. All right, so that's the end of Superstaro'S chain. Now, the only other things that I would add are just a utility in case you need to boost or decrease the gain signal a little bit more, and then just a glue compressor at the end, just using the soft clip option. We're not going to turn the range on at all. So now you know how to master your beats like the pros, but that's not going to be much good if you're not mixing down your beats correctly in the first place. So if you want to know how we mix down our beats to get the most out of them every single time, go ahead and check out this video right here, and I'm going to show you the step-by-step guide to mixing your beats like a boss. And besides that, fam, we'll be catching you again in the next one. Peace out.